Welcome back to Renegade Report. I am Greg Kerr. We're in our third segment now, and we're happy to be joined by, are we happy? Yeah, we are happy to be joined by the head coach of the BC Renegade football team, Mr. Jeff Chudy. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Haven't seen you since, last night.
There you go.
Yeah, the scrimmage out there.
You stop hanging out like this. Our wives might start talking.
Yeah, I tell you what. Let me ask you this. When you have a scrimmage,
Right.
and you're the coach,
Yeah.
and you're going against yourself, you always see something good, but maybe you see something bad. What about scrimmages?
Well, I think the biggest thing you want to see improvement. Number one, which sometimes it's hard to quantify, but in our world, it's about playing faster and minimizing mental mistakes, and then obviously, you want to see kids, that surprise guy that might step up and really make an improvement from the last time we went 11 on 11, which was Saturday, and then the biggest thing that you fear, obviously, are the injuries. Those are the things that are hard to overcome, and especially for us, at our level, we just don't have the depth that you would have at a Division I school where there's 85 guys on scholarship. So we've so far, knock on wood, we had a couple guys got dinged up Saturday with some concussions, and so they were out. As far as I know, nobody got seriously hurt.
That's good.
No concussions, and we're onward and upward to September 6th.
All right. We just showed, and we have it up here right now, some of the scrimmage right there. But we're going to show it again. We have Braylon Legender right here making a tackle in the backfield.
What an awesome kid. Guy's matured so much. He took a year off, not because he had to, but probably the best thing for him. Came back totally focused. I can't say enough good things about Braylon. He's really come ready to play, and he's a coachable guy, and he plays hard, has a motor on him, and he's really going to be an impact player for us up front on the D-line.
And we had a touchdown run, I think, by Odell Crum there as
Crum,
well.
Crum, he's an amazing little guy. I think people are going to really love to watch him on our kickoff cover team. We're putting him right in the middle, and I think he's going to create some havoc. So he's going to run down there, and he's going to be about 10 yards ahead of everybody else, and hopefully it'll take about 3 or 4 guys to block him, and if they don't block him, he won't make the play inside the 20.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, you're talking special teams
guy.
there, but
yeah.
I want to go position rankings right here. And I'm going to start on offense. So we're going to Chris is going to bring up our graphic, and I think we're going to start with running backs. So Chris, if you want to bring up that graphic, I think we have, and we're going to go over our position rankings for BC and grading the offense and running backs. And the grade you gave us for that was a B. So talk a little bit. And by the way, you're a tough grader, I guess, because this is your best grade so far. But what about running backs and a grade of B?
I think we're very fortunate to have the guys that we have at that position. Triton Douglas is a H-back, fullback guy, first team all-conference last year, brings a lot to the table. Obviously, Curtis McGregor is at the top of the heap. He is a fit and focused guy, has done everything right. I hate to always praise guys, because it seems that you jinx them, but hopefully we won't jinx them here. And he's done everything right. Great attitude, great teammate. He's helped the younger guys trying to pick the offense up and the new guys, but he is really a special player. And so he's really – and he had a great couple runs last night. He's hard to tackle. He's got such a low profile, and he's such a powerful guy. But we have some depth there. I'm excited about that position. It's without a doubt one of our stronger area groups on our football team.
Okay, but also in the backfield, quarterback. So
quarterback.
Where are you going with me on that?
We're still trying to figure it out right now. It's.
You remember the grade you gave me?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was a C.
C. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. C. It's still a C.
Okay, it's still a C.
They're playing faster. But we still, that's the position that obviously they touch the ball every snap, and they've got to make good decisions because a bad decision ends up probably taking us off the field, and that's the thing that you can't have, especially going into this Riverside game. They're an up-tempo offense, and we've got to help our defense out with a consistent and balanced offense where we're on the field, and that might be our best defense. We can stay on the field a little longer than Riverside would want us to. So those guys got to be able to manage the game. We've got to be able to get first downs. If it's 3rd and 3 and we're throwing it, we got to get 3 yards. and when we go play action, we got to be able to hit the open guy, and they're still learning, and that's why we film our scrimmages and practices, and we'll still have some really intense situations between now and when we play, and so we're going to have they're going to have an opportunity to shine, or whatever.
All right. Well, let's run through these next two pretty quick so we can get to defense. And let's say I think next we have receivers. Correct? I think that's what we have coming up. And so on our receiver scoreboard, we're going to O-line first and the people mover. So what about them?
I'm encouraged with the offensive line. We've had a couple guys get hurt that were dinged up. Really hard. Those 5 guys work together, and they're in synchronization. It's like synchronized swimming. It really is. And we've had to mix and match guys, and we've had to, because of some injuries right now.
But you gave them a C right now. So
I think they're going to get better. I mean, I like where we're going with the offensive line. I really do. I think that once we get everybody healthy, I think our O-line is going to be solid. But it's just hard when you're putting guys out of positions.
Right.
And that's an area that we don't have a ton of depth at. That it's hard to everybody on the same page.
So what about receivers?
I like where we're at with receivers. I think Vickers and Marquise Johnson are really, really talented guys. Those guys are going to create a lot of problems for people. I think we're blessed to have extremely talented skill guys.
So you're the toughest grader in the world. You like, and look at the grade you give the receivers.
Well, we had a lot of issues though. We couldn't get lined up. We're we're lined up in a formation that we don't even have because those guys can't figure it out. We had 3 guys on one side of the ball and nobody on the other side of on the football. And that's the thing right now. You go into this first game and we can't get penalties. We want to play fast. We can't take timeouts because we can't get lined up right. We don't want to do that, and then we want to get 5-yard penalty, and we're starting off putting us in the hole at 1st and 15. So some of those issues, and they have to block. So it's not just about catching the rock. It's about lining up correctly, and that was a problem they had with our first scrimmage. I said that, and the other problem they had is that we got to block, snap the whistle. So, but Marquise, from a talent perspective, Marquise and Derek they're as good as we've had now.
All right.
Those guys are talented.
We got about 4 minutes in this segment.
All right, let's go.
What I want is
rock and roll.
We're going to run defense and the schedule real quick.
Okay.
So in 2 sentences or less, let's start defensive line. You gave them a D.
Yeah, they were no effort on Saturday. They picked up the pace. Much improved.
Okay, so that might be
effort.
A better grade now.
Yes.
Linebackers.
Young, learning.
You give them a C.
Yeah, and they're busting their tails. They give great effort, but we're young. We make too many mental mistakes
We'll talk about Riverside City in a moment because they throw the ball all the time. So your secondary is going to get tested right away. You gave them a C, I think, right?
Young, and we're starting to incorporate new packages. So there's a lot on their plate. They got steam coming out of their ears right now. We added a couple new coverages, and we don't want to be paralyzed through analysis, but paralysis through analysis right now seems to hit some of our guys. But
I don't know if you recall this. You told me one time what the look is that a high school kid going into college, and I think you said you one time gave me a phrase. It was pretty funny. I couldn't remember what it was, but it was something that you said about the look on a kid when he goes from high school to college.
Oh, you mean like a deer in headlights?
No, it was something else that I'd never heard before. It was pretty funny.
Hey, I can't find my keys every other day, so I can't tell you. I can't remember that far back.
All right, let's go to your schedule, and let's start things off. You start on the road, Riverside City College. What about those guys? Tom Kraft, they'd call it aircraft a lot because he throws the ball a lot, but what about that team?
From what we gather, they're the best team in the state. They're the best team physically we're going to line up and play against. He's spoken to some of the guys that we have mutual friends down south, and he's told those guys that this is his best team that he's had, even when he was at Palomar when they won a couple national championships. So we got a work cut out there. That's gonna be a heck of a challenge for us.
All right, we'll run through these pretty quick, but you got Golden West next. Any thoughts?
Golden West was a playoff team. There's 4 teams that made the playoffs. Of course, we're playing Riverside and Golden West, 2 teams that were in the playoffs. So thanks for making our schedule, Jim Sartoris.
Okay, Long Beach City.
Old rival, always have good talent. We haven't played them in a while.
Okay, Allen Hancock on the road. They still play at Rigetti High School?
Rigetti High School.
Yeah.
And Coach Dutra will have those guys ready. So they're pound and ground.
Yeah. Canyons. Recent history says that's always a
Yeah, they were a third team that made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They won our division and made it to the playoffs with Fullerton too. So their option offense, kind of a unique offense that we don't see very much. Out of all the teams that we're going to play, they're going to be the only one that runs that style offense. So. And they're well coached. They did a nice job last year.
Okay, I'm just going to take these next 4 as a bulk because your next 3 of 4 games are on the road. At Citrus, at Moore Park, home to Cerritos, at Pasadena City. What
Citrus is much improved. A really good football team. Made it to a bowl game last year. Had some very talented corners last year that were highly recruited. Moore Park's getting better. Cerritos is always, I expect Cerritos to be one of the top teams in our conference, in our division, vying for the top spot. They're well coached, and Mazzota does a great job, and so we're going to have that's going to be a big game for us.
All right, and you wrap things up with Ventura.
Ventura, they've been very competitive. They got us last year. It's going to be a good football game. We get to play them. I don't know if we play them here or there or somewhere, but
home.
We're at home with those guys. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Coach never looks ahead past the first game anyway.
We're
going to wrap this up on a bit of a somber note, but the passing of Brandon Hobdy. Just talk about him as a kid, as a player. Take a look at Brandon right there on screen, but of course, was shot and killed back in Arkansas.
Yeah, that is, your biggest fear as a parent is to lose your child. Brandon Hobdy was a great player for us in the sense that he was an awesome teammate. Very quiet, very humble guy, community service oriented. Went to all the things that we got involved with. He was right there, and he was a talented kid. And I don't know all the specific details. My guess is it was probably late. It was one of those. The little that I've heard that it was. They hadn't even said who the suspect was,
right.
But it was something that happened off campus, and nothing ever happens good past midnight type stuff. But
I heard it was just some shots into a crowd.
I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, it's just horrible. His mom and his siblings. His mother's a great gal. Talked to her on the phone many a time, and it's just tragic to lose somebody so young, who's got so much to look forward to, and he can bring back to the table. To society and be a great mentor and role model for a lot of young people because he's walked the walk, and it's just tragic.
All right, well, you take care of the guys you have, all right?
Yeah, we'll
all
try
right,
and
Jeff,
do that.
Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck September 6th. We know you're getting ready for that one. It's coming too quick, I think, sometimes for coaches. Jeff Chudy, the head coach at Bakersfield College for football team. We're going to take a break. When we come back, a guy who knows a little bit about BC football as well. That would be Rick Van Horn. See you in a moment.